Here's our design challenge. Redesign the town center of Brimfield, Ohio. It's not all that it could be for the residents of this community of 10 to 11,000. So we put the challenge to a group of Brimfield kids with no urban planning experience. We want to create a mixture of housing, shops, public art, and services. It's this integrated mix that brings life to a town center and makes the community viable. Brimfield was lacking, but not its children. So we went to the Falcon Academy of Creative Arts to ask 20 5th and 6th grade students to redesign their town center. These students will be future decision makers in their communities. They hadn't even thought about how towns and cities are created or planned or changed, or what that means to their quality of life. They probably never noticed. The teacher, Christine Pace, starts by giving them some background on community design and things planners need to think about.
So we're going to talk about urban planning today. Urban planning is a profession, so you could do it as a job. When you get older, that's what you could study in school, that could be your job. Urban planners work to improve people's lives and their communities by creating more convenient and healthy, efficient, and attractive places for current and future generations.
Students broke into 5 teams and came up with design team names and symbols. It helps put them in a mindset of working collaboratively. The teams use a worksheet on some important questions. Where will people live, work, shop, go to school? What kind of activities do people like to do? How can we make these crossroads into a town center? Now's a good time to introduce the design process. It provides a cognitive framework which is used by many professional designers to create solutions to design problems. Students in art education programs may be taught these steps to use as an effective career and life skill. This is the basis for design thinking. Step 1, define the problem. Ask who, what, where, when, why, and how. The students have to consider residents of all ages and abilities. What kind of a place would attract them? Some important things to consider for our physical and emotional health are sustainability, a human scale, aesthetics, and mixed-use development. Step 2, research. Here students use interviews, articles, books, the internet, observations, role-playing, and discussions. There are 5 stations set up for the teams to rotate through. One has computers for researching sustainable urban planning. Another has clips from a TED Talk on retrofitting suburbia. In another, each team interviews parents and siblings as community members. Brimfield Town Executive Robert Keller talks about zoning and neighborhood planning. Planning Board member Dick Messner shows students a town plan that had been considered years ago by a group of community leaders.
There's a terminology we use in planning. It's called SWOT. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats against those opportunities.
Step 3, brainstorming. After researching, the students consider possible concepts, allowing their ideas to flow freely before attempting to move to a solution. Teacher Kelli Reynolds shows the students how to do mind mapping, a form of visual outlining. Each student did a mind map on a worksheet for the 4 subcategories of function, aesthetics, sustainability, and urban planning. After individual mind maps, the kids create a collaborative mind map, taking the best ideas they each had and combining them for a final prototype. Step 4, prototype. For the final presentation boards, each team worked with a basic map of the existing streets and buildings, over which was a blank sheet of vellum for them to add their ideas.
I think what we should do is have it go here.
Step 5, presentation. Presentation is an integral part of the classroom experience. The audience is the focus group who gives feedback on the effectiveness of the solution.
Questions or comments? This whole thing to this.
Step 6, evaluate and revise. The students are asked for one thing they thought was successful in their plans and one thing they could change. The design process is not just a method for solving challenges, but a procedure that communicates how to go from start to a creative finish. By teaching and practicing this process, educators have the opportunity to make a strong contribution to an important life and career skill for our students. The Falcon Academy students' ideas and presentation boards are now on their way to the city planners. Whether their plans are adopted or not, they'll never look at their town the same way again.